DJ.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Jainab Omar Mosa. 245. Sheku Saidu Sama. 246.
Present, sir.
Anyone left?
Sir, 205.
205.
Sir, 202.
202.
Sir, 218.
218.
Sir, my ID is 226. I guess my voice
226
wasn't.
দিয়েছি ভাই
Okay, sir.
রাশি দিছে আর কেউ নো Okay, can you see the white screen? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we will start our new topic, frequency response. This is chapter 7 from Niemann book. Basically, in our previous 2-semester course, there's electric circuit or electronic circuit, especially the electric circuit. When we discuss about the when we analyze the sinusoidal signal, what we did, we usually consider the frequency is constant. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
In our sinusoidal signal analysis, circuit analysis, always we consider that the frequency is constant. So just reverse of that one. Now we will consider the frequency will be variable. Okay. So considering the frequency variable, the analysis is frequency response analysis. So the analysis is nothing new, but a new parameter will be added. What the new parameter? We will consider frequency, variable frequency basically. Okay. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
During our frequency response analysis, only one new thing will be added, that we will consider the frequency, variable frequency. Instead of constant frequency, what we have earlier analysis. So most importantly, we will see the frequency response of amplifier. So the amplifier frequency response in general it's look like uh, gain versus frequency. So if we draw usually in this scale is frequency is plotted in hertz. This is usually used log scale, log scale. And this side is plot usually the magnitude in dB, which can be called magnitude A is JF in dB. So usually the frequency response is this is called gain, and this is frequency. So usually the gain is in x this what's called y-axis, and in x-axis is frequency, and the response is somehow look like this one. It can be look like this one. And this portion usually called, if we dotted, there is a flat area. So this flat area is usually called this one is low frequency marked as FL, and this portion is usually marked as a high frequency FH, and this gap, the flat one, basically is called 3 dB. Is 3 dB. This duration usually measured as a 3 dB. And usually this portion is called midband. Midband. And this portion out of this is high frequency. This is high frequency range. High frequency range. And this portion is basically low frequency range. Low frequency range. And usually this amplitude is called midband amplitude. The constant amplitude is usually called midband amplitude AM in dB. So basically in our previous analysis, when we consider the frequency is constant, usually we analyze it in this band. So now in the frequency response, we will see the low frequency and high frequency as well. These two, this range and this range as well. Because in our previous analysis, when we consider the frequency is constant, During that time, basically we focus on the mid-band frequency. Now, in our discussion, we will focus on the low frequency, mid-band, and high frequency as well, all together. So this is what gain versus frequency. Gain versus frequency. See? So basically, since this scale is linear scale, usually is linear scale, and this is log scale. So there sometimes this plot is called semi-log. Semi-log graph. Basically, it's called semi-log graph. Okay. So when the frequency is frequency f, if it is less than FL, I mean, if it is less than FL, then this usually marked as low frequency range. Low frequency range. And if f greater than fh, if f greater than fh is marked as high frequency range. High frequency range, and in between is mid band, this portion. And if f is equal to fl, f is equal to fl, or f is equal to fh, this portion is basically called as 3 dB. Always less than 3 dB if this equals to 2, because where the slope is starting only from this portion to this portion is called the 3 dB. Later on we will see in details that which portion is 3 dB. So specifically from where the slope is starting and constant, this duration basically is 3 dB. So the 3 dB is always less than the maximum midband. Maximum midband is what? This portion, maximum mid, and 3 dB somewhere here, here, or here, or here, where the slope will be start. And usually the difference between high frequency and low frequency is defined as the bandwidth, which is called FW. Bandwidth is FBW. Bandwidth is equals to FH minus FL. This is the bandwidth of the amplifier. High frequency minus FL is defined by the high frequency. So basically what happened, usually all the amplifier gain factors are function of signal frequency. And these gain factors include the voltage, current, and another 2 parameter, either transconductance or maybe transresistance. But in our previous discussion, we consider that the signal frequency is high enough so that the coupling capacitor or bypass capacitor can be treated as a short circuit. In the previous discussion in circuit analysis, we consider that the bypass capacitor or coupling capacitor as a short. Is it or not? So during that time, we consider that the capacitor value is high enough to make it short to the coupling capacitor or the bypass capacitor. On the other hand, we also assume that the signal frequency is low enough so that the parasitic capacitor or load capacitor or the transistor capacitor can be treated as open circuit. So that two assumption basically we will overcome here. we will not consider that the capacitor will be represented by short circuit or open circuit. We will include those capacitor here, and that's why because of including the coupling capacitor or bypass capacitor or load capacitor, this slope is happening this side. I mean, in high frequency, the gain is decreasing, as well in the low frequency, the gain is decreasing because of the bypass capacitor, coupling capacitor, and parasitic capacitor are included in the amplifier gain. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. So can you repeat?
This point is very important. In your previous discussion in electrical circuit 2 or electronic circuit 1, usually what we did, we consider the bypass capacitor, the coupling capacitor and the bypass capacitor usually we consider is short, and the load capacitor we consider as open. But here we will consider it's not purely short or purely open, and that's why we include this drop, because the when the frequency is decreasing a certain point, the gain is also decreasing. Even if the frequency is increasing in certain point, the gain is also decreasing. So this phenomena is happened because of the coupling and bypass capacitor effect, and also the load capacitor or parasitic capacitor, or you can say the transistor capacitor effect. Okay, so this is basically the basic things of the amplifier frequency response. So what if we consider an example of audio amplifier? We know the audio amplifier frequency range is what? The audio frequency range is f less than 20 kilohertz, greater than 20 hertz. This is the audio frequency range. So if we want to design a audio frequency amplifier, meaning we need to design so that the FL, the low frequency FL, should be greater than, should be less than 20 hertz, and FH should be greater than 20 kilohertz. FL greater than, less than 20 hertz, and FH greater than 20 kilohertz. From this gain versus frequency response, we can say that if we design an audio amplifier, and if we consider this, then the amplifier will amplify it equally, so that the reproduce the sound is accurate as possible. In case of audio amplifier. Okay, and in our analysis, frequency response, usually the gain is indicated in dB. I think you familiar with dB, is it? What is dB?
Decibel.
Sorry?
Decibel.
Decibel. It is decibel. So usually the gain is unit is always decibel, and is you can say this is if A is gain, and if you denote it in dB, then this is basically 20 log 10 base magnitude. This is basically the dB. And also another one parameter we know, usually the gain and frequency plot. The frequency usually used in omega. Omega. What is omega? Omega is called the radian frequency, is it?
Yes, sir.
Radian frequency, which is equals to twice pi f, twice pi f. So the relation between omega and f is like this. And there is another parameter is complex parameter S. We know that S is equals to is called complex frequency S, that is equals to j omega. Is it? Do you know this? S is equal to j omega. Did you familiar with the Laplace transform? Not yet. Hello. হ্যালো
Sir, we are family.
ভাই, শোনা যাচ্ছে? আমি তো তোমাদেরকে শুনতেছি না। হ্যালো,
We can hear you.
Sir, finish it.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, so the S is complex frequency which is equals to j omega. You may be familiar with this term in Laplace transform as well. What is S? S is complex frequency S. So this is all about the amplifier frequency response. We will go in details step by step.
Sir, I have a question.
Hello?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, why do we need to keep the 20 hertz as FL and 20 kilohertz as FH?
ভাই, আমি তোমাদের কথা ক্লিয়ারলি I cannot hear you clearly.
Sir, 20 hertz টাকে স্যার FL রাখি কেন স্যার, আর 20 kilohertz টাকে স্যার FH কেন রাখি? আমরা কি মিড ব্যান্ডটা নিয়ে কাজ করি সব সময়?
No. Exactly what happened earlier, in our earlier discussion, we didn't consider the capacitor value. We always consider capacitor before now that either open or short. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Either short or open, but this is not purely happened basically. So that phenomena we will see, and this is an example basically. This one is an example of audio signal. What is the range of audio signal frequency? We know that the hearable audio signal is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean that the audio frequency, audible frequency is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz? Means if the gain of that signal in between 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, then we will hear it. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
That's why if someone want to design a audio amplifier, so he should maintain this condition. So from the response here, we can see that if our low frequency is cover this portion, at least this portion, to high frequency this portion, then the frequency we can easily hear. But if it is increased, then the gain will be reduced. Is it here? Or if it is here, the gain will be reduced here. So the amplitude will be reduced. So we cannot hear the pure signal.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I did mistake. I think this one will be this one, and this one will be this. So in between. No. It was okay. I did again mistake. The previous one was this. Oh. That was okay. It should be FH must be greater than 20 kilohertz, and FL must be designed less than 20 hertz, like this. The FL. So usually we will have three different regions. One is mid-band region, mid-band, and this is low frequency region, and this will be high frequency region. Okay, any question? We will see in details step by step. Then another one thing we need to know, the system transfer function. What is the system transfer function? Can anyone told me? What is transfer function? Did you familiar with the system transfer function? Yes or not? System transfer function. Response, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, earlier we have calculated the gain, is it? What is gain?
Controlling voltage versus output current.
ভাই আমি এখন তো সিম্পল করতে চাচ্ছি এই যে লাস্ট 2-3 weeks we discussed about the gain, is it amplifier gain? And
Yes,
even
sir.
you have familiar with the gain in previously. So what is gain basically?
V output by V input.
It is not necessarily V, it can be I or it can be something else. So basically the output divided by input, that is gain, is it or not? So simply we can consider that one is the transfer function. Then we will discuss in details. So the gain in another form we can say the transfer function. For the time being you can consider that the gain is transfer function. Basically gain is transfer function, but in written in different form. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So the transfer function is nothing but it is the gain of the system, written in different form. Okay. So we will see the system transfer function. So in order to represent the system transfer function, we need that complex frequency S, which I have said earlier, that S is the complex frequency, which is basically j omega. So the frequency response of a circuit is usually determined by using the complex frequency S, this one. And sometimes we can say this is the variable, Laplace variable S. So each capacitor is represented by its complex impedance. By what? Usually capacitor impedance is 1 by SC, is it or not? And inductor represented by you cannot say. Hello.
Sir, SL.
SL is complex impedance. So we will use this. And R is what? R is simply R. Okay. And S is equal to j omega equals to twice pi f. So considering this, usually we can find one is voltage gain, is it? If it is V by V output by V input is what? Is voltage gain? Is V gain. So this is one kind of transfer function. Or it can be current gain. Current gain is what? I output by I input is current gain. Or sometimes what we find? V output by I input. What is called this one?
So trans resistance function.
Exactly. Trans resistance. Another combination is possible. I output by V input, and this is called transconductance. So this is also a transfer function. This is also a transfer function. This is also a transfer function, and this is also a transfer function. So these four kind of transfer function can be possible. Okay. So usually we use this one more, the voltage transfer function. So this is voltage transfer function, this is current transfer function, this is trans resistance transfer function, and this is transconductance function. And this four type of gain we will see in details again when we will analyze the feedback circuit again later on. So for the timing, you just keep in your mind that these four kind of transfer function can be happen. Okay. And we will see how the equivalent circuit of these four types of transfer function and how we can calculate. We will see in details when we will go through the negative feedback circuit after mid, inshallah. So usually the frequency domain, frequency analysis is happening in S domain, which is using the complex frequency S. So if we say the S domain analysis, So usually the transfer function in the S domain, it has a general form. So what we can say, this is also TS. Usually the transfer function is denoted by T in bracket S. T represent for the transfer function in S domain by small s. So what we can write the general form, T S is equals to K, and in the numerator usually we put S minus Z1, S minus Z2, and S minus Zn. And in the denominator, it is S minus P1, S minus P2, and S minus Pn. So this is basically a generalized transfer function. I mean, these four type of transfer function we can represent in this way. Any one form of this we can represent in this form. This is basically called the generalized transfer function form. So what is K here? Usually this K is called constant. It is a constant term. It is a constant. And S is already defined is complex frequency or Laplace variable. And Z1, Z2, Zm. Z1, Z2, Zm is called the transfer function zeros. Is called zeros. Why it is called zeros? Because in the transfer function, if you say S is equal to Z1 or S is equal to Z2, what will be the magnitude? If you put S is equal to Z1, what will happen?
It will become 0.
The transfer function will be 0. That's why it's called zeros. And the P1, P2, Pm is called poles. It is called poles. P-O-L-E-S, poles. So if S is equal to P1 or S is equal to P2 or S is equal to Pn, what will happen the transfer function? The transfer function will be can be diverse or it can be infinite. infinite. Okay. So basically, this is the general form of the system transfer function in S domain. Okay. Sometimes we can put this is T j omega, S is equal to j omega. So we can put this one j omega. And if we put j omega, meaning what? This is a complex function, is it? Complex function. And we know if it is complex function, then it will have two parts. It will have the magnitude and phase. Magnitude and phase. Okay. Since it is a complex function, we will have two parts, the magnitude and phase, and both will be function of frequency. This both magnitude and phase, both will be function of frequency. Function of frequency. Even who go through the Shadiku book earlier in circuit analysis, I think they are already familiar with this one. Is it? Okay, then we can consider a simple circuit to see how we can calculate the frequency response. Okay, so a simple circuit is, okay, we can take a new page.
Sir,
Yes, please.
I have one problem for them. A different type of gain.
I cannot hear you, brother. What is the
See,
problem? Basically, I don't understand why I cannot hear.
different type of gain.
Hello.
Sir,
Yes,
a different type of gain. You see, you have current gain.
brother. I cannot hear you clearly.
I say about a different type of gain.
About
Different type of gain.
about different type of gain.
Yes. So I just remind the two, but the remaining four I do again.
I cannot hear you clearly. Okay. I think you mentioned about this transfer function, is it? Hello.
Yes.
You are say something regarding this ratio. This
Yes,
gain?
sir. Yes, sir.
Can you say again what you want to say?
The two last one.
This to one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is ratio between the output voltage by input current, and this is output current by input voltage.
About the name.
Yeah, this is trans resistance. This is trans resistance. Trans resistance gain, and this is trans conductance gain. And even I repeat you that I will discuss it later on in details, because we have another chapter in negative feedback. There we will discuss in details all four. And I told you that for the time being, you can keep in your mind that there are four combination is possible. Either output voltage, input voltage, output current, input current, output voltage, input current, output current, input voltage. That's all. This is trans resistance and this is trans conductance. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't go in details here. We'll discuss all four types later on. Okay, so in order to see how we can analyze the frequency response. So if we consider two simple circuits, one is simple series circuit, another one simple parallel circuit. So we can consider a simple series circuit here, a voltage source with a series resistance a series capacitance, then we can take output and we will have a resistance here Rp is series resistance Rs, series capacitance Cs, parallel resistance Rp, and Vi input voltage, and we will take the output voltage here, maybe grounded. This is a simple series circuit. Alternatively, we can take another simple parallel circuit where there is series resistance Rs, parallel resistance Rp, and the parallel capacitor Cp, and it is output voltage, and it is Rs. So from these two circuit, you can easily say that what is Cs here? We can consider this Cs as a coupling capacitor, is it or not?
Yes, sir.
And this Cp is a what?
Is a pole capacitor.
Hmm?
Is a pole capacitor.
Yeah, we can say this is load capacitor, is it? Can we say or not?
Yes.
Yes. So basically, if we analyze with these two simple circuit, then we can get an idea of frequency response. Okay. So that's why we simply consider these two simple circuit. From your earlier knowledge, we can easily find out that what is Vs by Vis. Can you say what is this?
Rp by Rs plus Rp. Sir, Rp divided by Rs plus Rp.
Rp divided by
Plus Rp.
Rs plus Rp. You have to apply the voltage divider rule simply.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Simple voltage divider rule. Since it is a series circuit, you have to apply voltage divider rule here, voltage divider rule, VDR, and you have to apply KCL here in this node. Kirchhoff current law, KCL. Then you can easily find out V0S by VIS. So this is Rp by Rs plus Rp plus 1 by SCS. Rs and Cs are in series between input and output signals, and the Rp is parallel with the output signal and ground. So we can simplify it a bit. Then it will be SRP CS divided by 1 plus S into Rs plus Rp CS. If we multiply it by SCS to the numerator and denominator, then we will find this one. And then if we multiply it both top and bottom by another parameter Rs plus Rp, just hold down. Sagar bhai, ইসলাম ভাই না তো হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ না আমার কাছে তো এখন কত টাকা এরকম মনে হয় 2000-এর মতো হয়তো বা থাকতে পারে আমি তো এখন ক্লাস নিচ্ছি আপনার এখনই লাগবে নাকি একটু পরে দিলে হবে বুঝতে পারছি আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। তা আমি তো ক্লাস নিচ্ছি ক্লাস শেষ করে দেখি ঠিক আছে হ্যালো
Yes, sir.
so we can modify a bit more what we can do if we multiply it by numerator and denominator by rs plus rp then it can be more generalized we can write rp divided by rs plus rp and then we can put on the top s into rs plus rp into cs and divided by 1 plus s rs plus rp cs then we can define another term we can write this term we can consider as a constant k and then we can consider this rs plus rpcs rs plus rpcs rs plus rpcs it can be denoted as a term we can say no this is need to write tau s it called tau s it is a time constant we can say time constant so time constant and this is simply constant so we can write k into s tau s divided by 1 plus s tau s okay and for this one the parallel one if we apply the KCL what you will find you can find if you consider the current this way incoming current and this is outgoing so we know if we apply the KCL at a node then the current incoming to that node and outgoing current will be equal is it so this is VI so what we can say after applying the KCL we can say that VI minus V naught VI minus V naught divided by RS is it or not
Yes,
is
sir.
equals to V naught by RP V naught by RP plus V naught by what 1 over SCP or we can say that we can take in on side or we can rearrange in any way or we can write V0 minus VI divided by RS plus V0 by RP plus V0 by 1 over SCP is equals to 0. Consequently, we can reach in this point the transfer function V0S by DIS, which can be represented by this way: V0S by VIS. It can be like this: RP by RS RP into 1 over 1 plus S into RSRP divided by RSRP multiplied by CP. So basically what is indicating this one? This parallel combination of RS and RP. Is it or not?
Yes, yes, sir.
So we can further reduce this one: V0S by VIS is equals to RP by RS plus RP, and this one we can reduce that 1 over 1 plus S multiplied by RS parallel RP, CP, and this term of this S into this RS parallel RP into CP. This is another time constant because of the parallel one. So this is also a time constant and is denoted by tau p. So because of the parallel capacitance, this time constant happened. That's why this is tau p, and this one causes because of the series capacitance. This is tau s. Both are time constant. One is the because of the series capacitance, another one because of the parallel capacitance. So RS parallel RP into CP is a time constant denoted by tau p because of the parallel capacitance, and RS plus RP into CS is denoted by tau s because of the series capacitance. And usually here in both the circuit you can see this one and this one is use only one capacitor. Is it one capacitor? So usually if we use a single capacitor in a circuit or system, so we can say is single capacitor, or sometimes we can say first order function. First order function. So for the time being, we will analyze with the first order function. Then later on, we will consider this first order effect, and we will see the second order, third order, or multi order first order function. So using a single capacitor function is called first order function. Okay. First order transfer function. Okay, so basically after this we will discuss a new thing, board plot. So that will take long time. Maybe we will discuss on tomorrow. Board plots. Okay. We will see board plots. Board plot is basically what we have started earlier. The first slide. In the first slide, what we have done? We have plotted the gain versus frequency. Is it? Hello.
Yes.
So the gain versus frequency, at the same time, we have seen that the transfer function is a complex function. Is it or not? The transfer function is a complex function, and the complex function, it has two parts, is magnitude and phase, and both magnitude and phase are the function of frequency. So that's why magnitude versus frequency and phase versus frequency. These two plot together is called the Bode plot. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
The Bode plot is include the magnitude versus frequency and phase versus frequency. You can keep in your mind simply that the Bode plot is nothing but the plot of the transfer function versus frequency. Transfer function versus frequency, and transfer function is include the magnitude and phase since it is a complex function. So that's why the Bode plot will include the magnitude versus frequency, or you can say the gain versus frequency and phase versus frequency. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So maybe tomorrow we will discuss in details the Bode plots, how we can draw the Bode plot. So up to this, any question?
Yes, sir.
Please.
So, sir, from the parallel one,
Sorry?
the parallel,
Parallel?
yes.
Yes.
If I consider that BCP called VRP,
B?
V0.
No,
V
we
naught.
cannot consider this is 0 now.
I don't say it is zero. V0
Have V naught?
call V capacitor, V load capacitor. In
V naught capacitor.
I say V load call VRP because they are parallel. They are parallel.
No, RP and CP is parallel.
They are parallel. So V0 call VRP, isn't it?
Yeah, V naught is the voltage across these two.
Yes.
It's a parallel voltage.
Yes.
Yes.
From this idea, we can say V0 call VRP by RP plus RS BI.
Yeah, you can develop. You can the circuit analysis you can do in any way, no problem.
But we will not get something like here.
Of course, you should get. If you do not get, then there will be something wrong.
You use
In any way, I just apply the KCL here. But what you want to do? I am not sure, but I feel that you want to calculate the parallel impedance RP and CP. Is it or not? If you find out the parallel impedance, these two branches, okay,
Yes.
then you can multiply it by the current of that branch. That will be the V naught.
Me, I just use parallel. Parallel, they are the same voltage.
It's up to you. You can analyze in any way. It doesn't matter. Then you can find out the V naught by VI.
Okay.
And you should get the same thing because the transfer function cannot be varied. The transfer function always fixed. The V output by V input is always same. In either way, you can analyze, no problem.
Sir, I will
Okay,
show-
you can analyze in details with your notebook and pen. Then you can see.
If I do it, I will show you tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then.
Sir, my ID is 201. আমার
Okay,
হচ্ছে
okay.
ওয়াইফাই
Hold on,
ডাউন
hold
ছিল তো এই জন্য।
Okay, no problem. বলো ভাই, আরেকবার বলো কত?
স্যার 201।
201. Sumaya Tasmin.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu
Okay, you are welcome. Okay, then. See you tomorrow, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.